Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Thank you very much for joining me again today, and today is Simple Stamping Saturday. I love the Simple Stamping Saturday series. It's a series that I am doing where on every Saturday I take a project and I do a simple version or a quick version, a more advanced version, so a kind of casual crafter version where we introduce a few more bits and pieces, and then an avid version where we basically look at any technique, any equipment, and add it to the card. But we use the same basic layout on all three cards and the same basic equipment on all three cards. So, as this is also part of my Case the Catalogue fortnight, I am looking at the current annual catalogue. Let's get the shine away. So the current annual catalogue, which is with us until the 3rd of June. And I'm looking at page 119 and Petal palette, which is going. It's a lovely stamp set. It comes in 2 cases, so lots of stamps. Some amazingly useful sentiments, because we've got thank you, best wishes, I just love you, congratulations, the whole gambit. So anyone who likes a kind of slightly arty effect stamp, perfect. So, cat hair, what a surprise. Today's simple version is this. I have used 3 ink pads. You could change out the ink pad for the congratulations and use the Tranquil Tide, but I'm using the three of the retiring ink colours. So I've got Tranquil Tide, Powder Pink and Fresh Fig. So all I've done for this is stamp congratulations in Fresh Fig, then the floral is in Powder Pink, and I've filled in the leaves with the Tranquil Tide and a blender pen. So we will be making that. So let's start by making that, and then I'll show you how I've stepped it up. As ever with these projects, I am starting with one of our note cards and envelopes. So we've got a note card and an envelope. They come in a pack of 20. It's a great way to start because all you need is 1 pack of note cards and envelopes. So it's just really easy. So let's start by getting our floral down. So I've got my powder pink. Oh, and I should say, we always decorate the envelope on our Simple Stamping Saturday. So I've got a little bit of stamping on the envelope as well. The envelopes are really good quality. They're the same quality as our normal A6 envelopes, which is the sort of standard size. And they are a brilliant surface to stamp on. So I've just inked up in powder pink. And just give enough time for the ink to actually transfer. And there is our stamped image, which is perfect. Don't need the powder pink anymore. So I've got my Tranquil Tide, and I've got a small amount of ink in the lid. That's going to be more than sufficient. Just going to bring in a piece of scrap grid paper. Now one of these ends is going to be, green. I've broken my own rule and not cleaned it off. So all I'm doing is picking up some ink from the lid, and I'm not picking up too much at a time because I don't want these to be an overpoweringly dark Tranquil Tide. I just want them to not be pink. And you can go straight over the veins. All that means is that you can see where the veins are. Still, it just darkens them. So it's not an issue. Do remember when you're using a blender pen, we've used this quite a lot, is you don't want to go over the same area too much while it's still wet, or you will end up breaking down the fibres of the paper, and you end up with it looking a bit like an old sweater with kind of knobbly pilly bits on, and it's not attractive. I'll see if I can find a piece of scrap card in a minute and show you what I mean, because it really is the most unattractive look. And you literally, it's just so easy. Just pick up your ink and colour in your leaves. And you don't even have it all to be you don't even need it all to be the same shade. If I could put my brain in, that would make a bit more sense. Right, so let me see if I've got, this is thick Whisper White. I've only got ordinary Whisper White on hand, but the same applies. So if it just takes a little longer on the ordinary. Ah, there we go. Doesn't take that long. So that is what happens if you overdo your blender pen. Can you see? It goes really unattractive. As I say, it looks like an old jumper, which is not great, really. So that's that bit. Then let me grab fresh fig and my sentiment. And I need to try and get my sentiment straight. So I'm just going to have the courage of my convictions. And I want it so that it's sort of sticking out the side a bit. There we go. That was easy enough. Now obviously you can put the labels on the back of your sentiments, but I tend not to, or tended not to. Now we've got the cling stamps. You just stop me, because they're amazing. Right, okay, so powder pink. And our dotty stamp. And actually I'll go that way up, and I'm just going across the bottom right hand with that. You can come over and fill in the line, but I'm quite happy for not to. And then I've got this one of the small floral sprigs, and I'm just going to come in with that. And I'm deliberately going off the edge, probably a little more than I meant to, but that's fine. So yeah, actually let's put another one in, because that really is quite a small amount of stamping. So let's just pop another one down. There we go. So that is our simple stamping. Let me just get inky pads out of stamps out of the way. So fold our note card in half. Make sure you've lined up the edges, and then with a bone folder just reinforce that fold, and you're folding it towards, I always say to fold towards the mountain. And that's a really pretty little note card. Obviously you can change the sentiment, so if you needed lots of thank yous, just change the sentiment out and you're good to go. So let's have a look at our casual version. So with this I've got powder pink background, and it's just a single layer, just folded in half. I haven't put any matte on or anything. And as you can see, if I show you the picture again, I don't think I told you which one I was casing. I'm casing this one. The whole point of saying I'm casing the catalogue is to show you which one I've cased. So I'm casing this one, so it's got this flag and die cuts and some thread. There's something going on in the background, but I can't quite work out what or how that's been done, but really pretty. So I started just with Wink of Stella, and I just made sure there was ink in the nib and bashed. So I had that all over the back of the card and then left it to dry. The flag is just a 2-inch strip that I stamped using the same dotty stamp, and I've just lined it up. And then I've cut it with the triple banner punch. I've done sponge dauber to get the two-tone, oops, things are flying around my desk, sponge dauber to get the two-tone stamping. So you literally just grab your stamp dauber, ink it up, and let me see if I can very quickly show you that. I've got a scrap of paper here. Just need some, don't particularly want to get tranquil tide fingers. So if I grab Petal Pink first, and because the stamp has Petal Pink on it anyway, we can just go straight into the ink pad and just dauber ink on, and then with the Tranquil Tide do exactly the same thing and just come in at the edges. It just adds some more colour and then huff on it, otherwise known as breathe, and stamp. And that's how I got that two-tone effect. So I just used snips to cut it out. So this is just fussy cutting. Then the leaf punch for the leaves, and just a strip for the congratulations, one of the frosted florals, some copper metallic thread, and then some basic, no, actually these were gingham gala sequins. So that's how I made that one. And then I stepped it up a bit more by adding the embossing folder. And this is, let me grab it, it's the Petal Pear embossing folder, which comes with the one I've used and then just leaves on a vine. I used the Champagne Mist shimmer paint. Champagne Mist? I'm sure it's called Champagne Mist. It is. Champagne Mist shimmer paint in a spritzer with some water. Spritz, spritz, spritz. So it's got a slightly more subtle shimmer. And then use die cuts. So this is a die cut, this is die, this is die, this is die. These are actually one die that I just cut. And other than that, it's the same. So there we are. Simple, casual, avid. So I hope you found that interesting. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a go, whichever one you would like to have a go at, give it a go. And if you would like to share pictures of them with me, you can do that over on my Old Stables Crafty Hangout. There's a link to that in the description bar below. All of the products that I've used will be listed below, and I would do them in the order in which I've added them to the process. So I'll start with these bits, then add, and so on. They're all listed below. Everything's over on my blog. There'll be pictures of each of these over on my blog post as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do remember to subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And I will look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!